Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a video on an hourly rate of removing gold corner BGAs. From my past yields, I got 10 to 12 grams per kilo for just the tops, so if you remove them from the bottom. But in this pile, they're not as high quality as I usually have, because there's a lot like this. And the ones which have these heat sinks, the little silver circle, there's also some with black circles, they tend to yield a lot less because they have copper heat sinks. I don't know if it's because the heat sinks make them heavier, so by weight they're going to yield worse, or if it's just because the ones with the heat sinks tend to often have no gold. But anyway, I'll remove from all of these, every single one of these have one or more gold corner BGA. I'll remove them all on this video, and then we'll weigh them up, and then I'll take from the tops from the bottom. So we'll take the top of this from the bottom, like I've done here. There's a few in here I've done. So you pull the tops off, you see it's broken a bit, but this top bit comes off, and the bottom bit will have a bit of gold plating, and the top will be the bit with the most value. So what we'll do, we'll store it in this pot and see if we can fill this up, and afterwards we'll weigh and see what we get. So all we need is a hammer and a chisel, and I'll just grab a board. We get the chisel, I don't know if you can see in the video, get the chisel and we'll hit it. But whilst you hit it, I always put my finger on the top, because this top bit often breaks, and because it's worth quite a lot, I don't want it to lose any pieces. Out of the whole board, the most valuable part is always the gold corner BGA, so it's always the first step I remove. In a future video, I've got 3 of these I was going to take apart, big giant aluminium pieces, and it has some board on the back. I don't know what's going to be on the other side, but they have what looks like fully plated gold pins inside, hundreds of them. So I thought that'd be good for the next video maybe. So all I'm going to do is take them all apart, work out how many I would have done in an hour. So if it takes half an hour to do them all, I'll weigh it and times it by 2, and that's what it'd be per hour. I won't rush, I'll just do it at an average pace. So if you've done this for say 10 hours, it's how much you would remove. The hourly rate on this is going to be really high compared to anything else, just because they're heavy and they are worth the most, the weight, out of any of the components. Anyway, I'll start now and we'll see what we have later on. See, there's gold corner BGA. We'll remove the bottoms in this video as well and put that in the hourly rate and include it. Just going to sort some stuff out a sec. I include any time wasting stuff, because you won't just be constantly depopulating fast. So as you can see, another one with a heat sink. Looks like it's got a sticker over it. Some. But yeah, it's a copper heat sink. Another one here. Yeah, that's easier to see. Some boards will have one with the heatsink and one without, so that's good. Overall, I'm gonna say maybe 7 to 8 grams of gold per kilo for the tops, just because it's safe to say that. Some people get none. I've known people recover gold and get 0 grams in their kilo of chips. So if you ever refine it, don't be disappointed if you get nothing. Shouldn't take too long to do all these. I hope you can see on camera, otherwise it's going to be a big waste of time. Some of them are massive, like this one I'm just taking off right now. And I reckon the littler ones will actually yield more by the weight, just because the bond wires, there's less plastic to bond wire ratio, but I can see it's quite a big one. The ones with the heat sinks are so much heavier though. I might show at the end of the video by weighing one which looks the same size as the ones without the heatsink, and just see the difference. Computer boards often have a gold corner BGA. Not every board has one. If they break up, it don't matter, because to refine them they get broken anyway. I don't think these chips will yield as well as any of my chips I've ever done. I reckon these will actually be the worst I've had done, just because there's more of the ones with the copper heat sinks mixed in than usual, and also the boards aren't the nice green ones. So I had to pause the video, someone was talking to me. But anyway, it's done that so far. Let's keep on going. Future videos I want to be doing over the next week or two is, I've done a video on hourly rate on removing gold plated pins already, gold fingers sorry already, but I want to make one on removing gold fingers from just slot cards. So I've done one on RAM. In future I'll probably start doing processing, showing each of my components, just so I can see if the yields I put a rough marker on is right. I'm only going by average yields when I tell people what they get, just because some people have higher grade boards than me and some have lower. If you get a lot less than what I say in my videos, then it's not your fault from the refiner. Could just be rubbish chips. The ones with no gold will have copper inside and copper bond wires, and not gold. Some get hidden under the plastics, make sure you always look. So I was about to put that board into the pile. My guess off 8 grams per kilo, which a lot of people do get about 10, so if you get 10 then that should be good, but I'm going to say 8 just in case I do have any copper ones in there. As you see, this one's broke off the bottom, and that's what the bottoms look like. The gold plating on there is quite thick, but there's very little of it, so you'd need kilos just to get a gram of gold. It's worth saving up. But anyway, if you do get 7 grams per kilo, in UK currency, at the moment, that's 280 pounds in the UK, and that's like $350 in America, so quite a lot. So if we manage to do a kilo of these in an hour, and that's £280 UK money in an hour. But the price of buying the boards, if you do buy, will is not included in that. And also you need a lot of boards to be able to spend an hour of constantly depopulating. I've got 220 kilos I think in the bed at the moment, and these are pretty much all the BGAs there are on them. So you probably need tons to spend an hour. And all these little chips will obviously have a lot less gold in by the weight, so your hourly rate also from that will decrease a lot overall. It's got a ram stick in it. Let's take it out. The reason I always stick my finger on top is because they all quite often break off. The top does, and fly off, and I don't want that to happen. I like to save it all. This one's got a slot card, a little slot covering it. Disc. I might do a video soon. I've already done showing chips, different types of chips, but instead of making loads of videos of each type of chip, I'm thinking I should make a video just moving all the chips other than the Gold Corner BGA, just ICs, not BGA, and work out the hourly rate from all of them put together. And my last video on the hourly rates will probably be overall on boards, so if you just done the whole board, how much you get an hour. Obviously people are different speeds, some people will be quicker than me and some will be slower. So these hourly rates aren't totally accurate, but it's a good guideline. Sometimes there's some hidden under these slots. No, there isn't any on this one. Right, take it off anyway. CPU there. I know I should be removing these little things on this video, but I know I need to get them done soon. It's not really using any time. But there's some giant PJs on some of these. I'll keep posted on what I get for all these PJs. A bit of that went everywhere. If anything rubbish is in its way, just knock it off. Quite a lot now. Adding it quite fast. Little tiny one on there. At the bottom there's some little boards which have absolutely loads of gold corners on. Good when I get to them. my chisel. Just a few of these little ones left. Let's do this little tiny one first. Some of these have little tiny BGAs, so don't miss them. And these little boards are really nice. They have 3 BGAs on them. See one giant one here, and you have a little one, and an even smaller one up there. As you can see, this big one actually has a heatsink. It's hard to see, but it's a black heatsink. So there's a chance that will yield less than the other nice ones. There goes my hammer. Anyway, so we're done. That's all of them finished. We managed to do this many. It feels quite heavy. Quite a bit. But as you can see, normal and heatsink ones. Anyway, I'll go and weigh them now, and we'll see what we got, and then we'll spend the rest of the time taking the tops and the bottoms off. I thought instead of weighing, we'll just take the tops and bottoms off, and then we'll just weigh the top and the bottom, and then we can weigh them together to save time. Anyway, got the pliers and a flat head screwdriver. So all we're going to do is bend the corners. Don't know if you can see. Something like this one seems to be stuck down quite well. So it is stuck down like this. I get my flathead screwdriver. Sometimes they break up, but as you can see, a little bit come off. This one seems to be breaking up a bit, but Normally they're not this hard. This is probably the worst example I could have showed. But anyway, now we have the bottom part. As you can see, gold plating again. Not very much, but it's the top, these tops which have all the value in. And if you look close, you'll probably see gold wires. I don't know, the camera's probably not good enough. Anyway, we'll move to the next one. As you can see, this one popped off quite easy. You can just do it by your hand. It aches your hands after you do loads. Popped off again. It's the same. Must have come from the same board as that first one I've done, because this one's doesn't like coming off. Big one here. Come straight off. Another big one. It don't take long doing this part at all. Just can be annoying sometimes when you get a chip that don't want to come off. The little ones are hard to do. They almost always need a blade or a flathead screwdriver to go underneath. keep dropping stuff. It's because they're all wet. Nice and slippery. I'm just going to separate them into two pots. Bottoms from the top, so I don't anymore. Some of them just break out like that. It's just really hard to... it's probably taken as long as it was to depopulate them. There's still a couple more needing to be done. There's all the little ones left, which is horrible to do. Some little ones you can't even get to the outside, you just have to use blade straight away in it. It's a little bit annoying. Last one. So that's all of them done. So we've got a little pile of the tops, all of them BJ tops, and a pile of the bottoms. The bottoms feel a lot lighter than the tops, which is good. Anyway, I'll go get my what's it called, weighing scales. My front camera pointing at this isn't very good, but anyway, we got 90.5 roughly grams off the tops, which if it's 260 UK pounds per kilo, and that's being safe, that's roughly £25 an hour UK money, or £35 dollars, well $35 per hour, well per 40 minutes. It took 40 minutes to do it all, so you'd expect about 35 UK pound an hour, or $45 an hour for doing them. If you'd done just these large ones, you'd have got a lot more, but the fact that I'd done those little ones, which took ages, kind of ruined it a bit. But for these, we just need to process them. It'll probably take about 3 or 4 kilos just to get a gram of gold from them, so don't really need to count them too much. But these will probably get 6 or 7 grams just because it's got rubbish like that in it. Which if it weren't Intel and it was like different brands like these, and had no heat sink, then you'd expect about 10 grams per kilo. But it's not, so yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check the description, I've got some cool things in there. I'll bring a new video out tomorrow probably. Anyway, thanks, bye bye.